You wanna know how you grow these edges back? You wanna know how you grow these edges back? Child. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Jirah and I am back with another video. In today's video, I'm super excited about because we're going to be doing like a little natural hair care chat. I left a little question box on my Instagram story and told you guys to leave any questions about any natural hair things that you may have. So whether that be like diva cuts, shaping your hair, big chops, all of that, we're gonna get into it. So without further ado, let's talk hair tea. Okay, so y'all left me like 50-11 questions. We're probably gonna do like 15 of them, and some of them I am gonna be doing a separate video on them because they are such meaty questions. But we're gonna get into all of them. All of your hair care, natural hair care answers will be answered. Let's get into it. Starting with the first question. This is a really good question. If your hair is damaged, do you think it is better to start over, meaning big chop, or can you revive it over time? Okay, so this question is actually perfect for me because when I was really starting out with my natural hair care journey, really trying to be serious about it, I decided to do a diva cut instead of big chopping. So basically what a diva cut is basically shaping your natural hair so when it's in its curly state and really getting off those dead ends to give your natural hair so your curls a little bit more life, some shape, some volume, so you can revive your curls without having to do a big chop. I prefer going the diva cut route. I still have a little damage in the front and I haven't straightened my hair in like a year and a half. So I mean, if you're going to do the diva cut route, it is going to take a little time. Patience is really key. So for this question, I feel like it depends on the person. If you're doing a big chop, you're going to see results instantly. So you're going to instantly see those curls start to come back. It's kind of like you're starting over in a sense. Your curls are fresh. You're really going to have fun with your curl pattern and really seeing what you can do with those new curls. Over time, I started to notice a change in my curls. I noticed that I got like 4A in the back, 3B up in here, and then 4A in the front. I got all kinds of textures throughout my hair, and I think that's really the fun part about the diva cut journey, or even just big chopping. So my answer to that question will probably be to just find out what works best for you. Me personally, I just wanted to revive it instead of having to big chop it and just find different things to help my hair. You can do protein treatments, getting frequent trims, laying off of the heat during that time, and that will really help bring your curls and nurse them back to life. Okay, so my next question, which kind of goes with the question I just answered, did you do the big chop? No, I did not. I just did a diva cut. Now, did I have to, let me rephrase that answer. So, did I go through a period where I did have to cut my hair because my ends were so bad? I cut it to a bob, and I have a video all about my hair growth journey. Yes, but I wouldn't call that big chopping, because for me, if you do a big chop, you're chopping it to be fully natural and for your hair to be fully curly. That's what I really think a big chop is. Correct me if I'm wrong, naturalistas, I don't know. But for me, when I cut off my damaged hair, I was not going in there intentionally to get a haircut. I went in to get a trim and I walked out with like a pixie. I'm being dramatic, but I walked out with a much shorter hairstyle than what I walked in there with. So I didn't really big chop, and I was still putting heat on my hair and things like that. So for me, when I was ready to take it seriously and really focus on my curls is when I got my diva cut in 2020. So no, I didn't do a big chop, but I do admire those who take the big chop route, y'all. And I'm a little scaredy cat, so I just was like, I'm gonna do a diva cut and slowly work my way up there. But whichever one works best for you, like I answered in the first question, go for it. Either way, you're making huge steps towards your natural hair care journey. Next question. You know, I should have put these into categories because these kind of are going together. But let's get into this question, this one. How do you feel about shaping your natural hair? So what I was saying earlier is that I got a Deva cut to slowly start my natural hair care journey. And let me tell you, Deva cuts are great. However, I don't think I ever want to get one again. Okay, let me tell you why. So Deva cut, so basically when I got my first Deva cut in January. So January 2020. Then I followed up and got what I called a trim, but it was basically a reshaping in July of 2020. I got like a trim or a reshaping. So that's kind of when I had like my bayang or whatever. I had a lot of layers. I was really feeling my cut. I had like a heart shape. So then in January 2021, I was like, it's time for a trim. I need to go back and get another Deva cut. I wanted to get my hair to a point where I felt like I could embrace my hair with its curls. Then I could also do a silk press maybe twice a year or maybe once a year. I really just wanted to start embracing my hair in all of its glory, whether that was like blow drying it and doing like flexi rod sets and wand sets, or blow drying it and doing braid outs and perm rod sets. I really just wanted to start embracing all the facets of my hair because my hair was getting so long. I was just always doing wash and go, so I was getting tired of it. So it's like, let me go and get a trim. So January 2021, I went to get a trim and I walked out with a Deva cut, and it was not good. Whenever you go to get a Deva cut, you're supposed to come with your hair in its natural state. So you come, what you do is you would wet your hair free of any oils, products, anything like that. So I wet my hair, detangled it, came, and my hair was just curled but like frizzed up. It had no products in it. I had just wet it. So I went to this new girl and she was like, oh my God, your hair is so healthy. That's the first thing she says, y'all. That's the first thing she says. Then she gets some scissors out and she starts cutting. And she's like, oh my God, like you have heat damage. Mind you, y'all, so when I got my first Deva cut, there was a point when none of this in the front would curl. I'm gonna insert a video so you can see, like I had straight pieces. It had like a little curl in the end because of the diffuser, but none of it would curl up. So when I went to this lady, I had some curling up in the front. I just still had a few straight ends, but to me, that looks like progression. That looks like growth, but she shot straight ends and was like, no. So y'all, she proceeded to cut my hair. And then she was like, oh yeah, like your ends. Of course, my ends were damaged. She said, it's been a minute since I got a trim. She was like, your ends, I need to cut it. And then she was like, oh, you got something going on. She kept saying, and so at this point I was like, do what you need to do to get me right. That was a horrible mistake. I said that, and then I walked out of there with a cut that I was not pleased with. I will show you a picture of my cut. Y'all, my hair was so long before I went to this particular appointment. And when I left, I think she cut off like 4 to 5 inches of my hair. I asked for a Deva cut trim and came out with like a whole cut. So after that, I was like, I am no longer getting Deva cuts or getting my hair shaped. I will just continue to just take care of my natural curls, continue to moisturize, protein treatments, deep condition, do all of that. But I'm just going to get my trims on blow dried hair. And I actually just got a trim 3 months ago on blow dried hair, and my curls, they look fine. So I honestly feel like Deva cuts work, but just make sure that you stay with someone who really knows what you like and is really familiar with your curl texture. For me personally, I don't think I'm gonna get another one for a while. I think I'm pretty much done because right now I'm just working on the health of my hair, and I don't feel like my hair always has to be curly for it to be healthy. I hope that answered your question. I personally love Deva because I think they're so cute, but for me personally, I will be taking a break. If you're trying to go into the natural hair care journey, I think Deva cuts are where you should start. Also, what I didn't do this time, I went into my first 2 appointments with pictures. So I had pictures so she knew how to cut my hair. When I went this last time to get a trim, she didn't have anything to go off of. I told her to keep the shape, and then I came out with another shape. So go in there with pictures so you know exactly what you want, and you'll come out looking exactly how you want. This next question, how often do you put heat on your hair? So I haven't put heat on my hair since April 2020. It is October 2021. So it has been a year and a half, y'all. I remember when I first told some of my friends that are really like into like natural hair care that I was going to be getting a Deva cut, and they were like, you know, you can't straighten your hair that much. You know it's gonna look weird if you straighten your hair, basically, because I would go like 3 months natural, then I'd get a silk press. So I was probably getting like 4 to 5 silk presses a year, which isn't that good. But also I was making sure that whenever I got my silk presses, I wasn't putting heat on my hair every single day. So I wasn't really damaging the hair shaft that much. I think Christmas time is going to be the time where I get my first silk press. Depends on how I'm feeling, because I don't want to get a silk press and waste it and it be humid and my hair frizz right on up, because my hair is super sensitive. So it's been a year and a half. I've been going strong. I can't wait to see how much longer I can go. It's really helped the health of my hair, and my hair has grown so much by laying off of the heating tools. This next question is, do you think a co-wash product is better than shampoo and conditioner? So personally, I like both. I feel like co-wash is perfect for the lazy natural. Myself, I don't always like having to wash, shampoo, condition, deep condition my hair every single time. So I would prefer the co-wash method. However, co-wash doesn't get all of the oils out. I know there was this time frame where people were like, stay away from shampoo. Shampoo like dries the hair shaft. No, you need shampoo to get all that buildup so that your hair can grow, and it needs to get all the buildup off of the scalp. So I do like both. I wouldn't say that co-washes are better. I just would say that co-wash is better for the lazy natural, and shampoo and conditioner is really gonna get that buildup and get all of that gunk out of your hair. What are your top 3 go-to natural protective hairstyles? Okay, so this question is funny because, y'all, I haven't really experimented that much with protective hairstyles like I feel like I should. I'm talking about protective hairstyles like braids, faux locks, things like that. The most that I've done is I've gotten sew-ins, I've gotten closures, I've done like mini twists and things like that. And when I was little, I would get braids, but it would be on my own hair. I've never had braids ever. I don't know why. I want knotless braids so bad, but I'm afraid that it's gonna make my edges thin. If y'all had knotless braids, can you give me some advice down in the comment section below? Because I really want to try knotless braids, but my hair is just so like sensitive, and any tension, I just don't want my edges to thin. So I do want to try knotless braids. I really like faux locks. I remember there was a picture that Megan Good had. I think it was goddess locks or soft locks, and it just looks so pretty on her. So next summer, I think I do want to try that, because I do feel like I wasted a lot of product on my hair this past summer. Just like your hair will frizz up with silk presses, my hair frizzes up with wash it goes and twist outs when I'm like out and it's like sweaty and hot. So I do want to try some different styles like braid outs, but I would say the ones that I've tried, I like mini twists. I do like a good sew in, but it doesn't really protect much because you have leave out. So I do like a good sew-in. I did, when I tried a closure, I really did enjoy it. The only thing was I tried this when it was during the summertime, so when you sweat, it makes the lace kind of lift up a little bit. But I do want to get into wigs as well. I do want to get into wigs because I feel like wigs where I could take off, on and off, have my little wig head, take my little wig cap, put that on, take it off, go to sleep, braids. That's what I want to do, because I feel like I can get to my scalp and it's not sewn down. I really get to my hair, get up in there and itch, you know, because with sew-ins it be itching and you just pat. So I really do want to try wigs as well. But I would say the top 3 that I have tried that I personally like, I like sew-ins, I like closures, and I also like mini twists. I do mini twists and mini braids throughout the middle of the week so that I can get to my scalp and oil it, and then when I get to the weekend, I have magic. And this is a braid out. Actually, I made the braids a little too many because it took me like 45 minutes to get all these braids out of my head. That's why it's still kind of black, because I haven't fluffed it out like I've wanted to, but I really do like mini twists and mini braids. Okay, this is a good question. If you had to pick, would you protect your hair by wearing braids or wigs? So I've had neither of the two. I've never had like braids, like knotless braids, or I've never worn like an actual wig. But I feel like, me personally, because I'm lazy, I feel like I would prefer braids because wigs, depending on what kind of wigs you get, and you have to lay, you have to get the got-to-be, spray it, melt the lace. I don't got time for all of that. Braids, I just take it down, do my edges, and go. If I want to get crafty and do a little updo, that's it. But like literally, if I had to choose between the two, I would probably go with braids because wigs would take a lot to slay. You want to straighten your wig, that takes time. You want to curl your wig, that takes time. So I'm gonna go the braid route. Retention is key when growing your hair. It is. How do you retain your hair length? I feel like the best way for me that has worked personally for retaining length is leaving my hair alone. When I say leaving my hair alone, that's means like not manipulating it into too many different styles. When I'm going throughout my week, I know that I'm not really going many places but the gym and doing work. So I do try to do low manipulation styles on my hair to make sure that I can get to my scalp good and still put oil and things in my hair. Also things like twist outs and braid outs and wash and goes. You do have to be really careful because sometimes it'll snag. So when you have these, make sure that you're still wrapping your hair at night, protecting it with a scarf so that you trap the moisture in and it doesn't dry out. But for me personally, it's just been leaving my hair alone. I do oil my scalp, so I have these oils. Let me show you. Okay, so I have these oils that I use on my hair. One of them is actually a tonic and serum, and one of them is an actual oil. So this is an all grown out hair growth oil from the Glam Room. I can link her information down in the description box below. So they say to use this twice a day, so I will use this once in the morning and once at night. But when I'm also using this leave-in tonic, which is from Vita Hair Growth, I've talked about their hair mask in one of my hair care product videos. When I use this and this at the same time, I alternate days. So this you don't do every day. So I'll do this twice one day, and then I'll do this in the morning and then this at night, so that I'm using both of them. This has really helped to keep my hair moisturized, and it has really just helped to grow. I really don't try to like take like tracking pictures to measure my hair and see like, oh, it's gotten to this length, or oh, I've grown such and such inches this month. I don't do that because then you obsess over it, and then you just really are paying too much attention to length and not the health of your hair. So that's why I say when I leave it alone, that's how I get the most growth. But I do nourish and give my hair some TLC with these oils. I do also take Mielle hair care vitamins. I haven't taken them in like a month or so, but there was a point in time when I was taking them every single day in combination with this, and I've really seen my hair be very, very healthy by using that method. But when my hair is the healthiest is when I leave it alone. So y'all, during these winter months, I suggest you just stock up on oils, really make sure that you're giving your hair the TLC that it needs, and just leave it alone. Let it do its thing. So this question is actually from one of my good friends, Jirah. It's gonna be very short, sweet, to the point to answer this question. This is how she typed it. Those twists people do, but leave them in their hair. I don't know what they're called. Call me twist this. Okay, next question. This next question is, how do you maintain your moisture in the winter time frame? So for me, this is very, very important. I'm going to actually do a separate video and show you guys how I do that when we get into the colder months. But for me, this is very, very important because my hair can be so dry. I have low porosity hair, and I really have to do a lot to make sure that it maintains its moisture, because the drier it is, the more it sheds, okay? So I personally, during the winter months, I make sure that I do low manipulation. Like, I'm not doing as many wash and goes and twist outs, because here's the other thing. If your wash and goes aren't all the way dry, your twist outs or your braid outs aren't all the way dry, and you go out into the cold, you're gonna get a head cold. So that's not a good combination. So that's one. And two, you're not really going out as much in the wintertime because it's so, or me personally, because it's so cold, I have the tendency to stay in the house. So I'll do two braids, one right here and one right here. And also after I shampoo and condition my hair, I will do like the leave-in cream oil method, so the LCO method that you do with wash and goes, but just before I put those braids in, to really trap that moisture inside of my hair. And I will leave it in my hair maybe like the whole week. Realistically, this has worked for me because of the pandemic, but if you do have to actually go into the office, I would just make sure that when you get home that you're taking those styles down, adding oil back into your hair before bed. Even like with my braid outs, sometimes they get a little frizzy during the day, and I'll just put a little water a little leave-in, and then I'll braid it right back up and then put some oil on top, rub it in my hand, just put some oil on top of my head. So that has worked for me as well. But if you have to go into the office, again, you can take your styles down, make sure that your hair is detangled, and then add some oil to it and just braid it up. You can just do oil, braid it up, that'll have moisture, take it out, and then style it for the next day. So that's personally how I have retained some moisture during the winter months. I will be doing a video on this specific question on its own, but for now, that's just the tea on how I keep the moisture trapped in my hair. The next question, how can I grow these edges back? You wanna know how you grow these edges back? You wanna know how you grow these edges back? Child, stop putting your hair in all these tight, insert curse word here, styles. I mean, y'all, when we be complaining about edges thinning, we be having these tight braids, I mean pulling it back, all the way back, and then wonder why we are having thinning edges. Now, no tight hairstyles. Also, you can wear wigs and protect your hair, but for me, sometimes just oiling your edges will help your edges grow back. Sometimes it is a deeper issue than just oiling your edges, and for that, I would go to a dermatologist. I know personally I've had some family members that have a history with like shedding, so they would go to a dermatologist and they would recommend some medicated products that would help with getting those edges back. But for me, just low manipulation hairstyles will help the edges not thin. Just continue to oil it, and like I said with regular hair growth, leave it alone. Don't pay attention to it. Like if you're gonna try like a hair growth oil or you're gonna try like a serum, be consistent with it and don't be like, oh, it's been a month, I ain't seen nothing. You're not gonna see anything that soon. So really make sure that you are just being patient with your hair. But sis, your edges will grow back. I promise you they will grow back. If you had them before, they can only come back again. So just be patient. Do you feel comfortable wearing your natural hair in the workplace? This question is the tea because y'all, there was a time, so when I was going into the office, so this was pre-pandemic, there was a time when I was wearing my natural hair. So I would go back and forth between wearing my curls and then straightening and then weave. So I was really just doing a lot. So that would confuse the people. And I understand. I'm going back and forth. I'm switching up on y'all. I'm giving you different people every day. So that was the only thing where I would feel like, okay, kind of uncomfortable when I was wearing my curly hair, because then they'd ask me stupid questions like, did you cut your hair? And then I'd have to explain, no, it just shrinks when wet. Sometimes I'd actually have to be like, no, it's not short, it's still long, and stretch it out for them. And then also I get the can I touch it questions. Those are probably the most annoying. But I also personally, my first job, the company that I worked for wasn't as diverse as I would have liked. I don't think I'd run into as many issues for my current company if I were to wear my natural hair to the office, because again, we're in the pandemic, so they haven't really seen my curls. But it can be, when you're first starting out wearing your curls, it can be a little frustrating and you can be a little anxious sometimes. And I just want us to really protect our crown and be confident in the curls that we have, because they're confident in what they got, so we need to be confident in what we got, okay? Oh, your hair looks so da-da-da-da, whatever they say, child. I had one person say, oh, it looks so cool, like your hair rocks, okay? Keep it pushing. You don't have to explain anything to them. Just be confident in your curls. So whenever I go back to the office, I will be rocking my twist outs. I will be rocking my braid outs because I'm confident in what I've got, and I encourage you all to do the same. Okay, this next question, we only have 2 more questions left. This next question is, how do I keep my hair from becoming so dry after my braid out, and how do I maintain it nightly? So this is perfect because I actually have a braid out in my hair right now. So normally when I come home, if I have any frizzy pieces, and this is kind of what I like about braid outs in comparison to twist outs, because I tend to do flat twists. When it comes to like your flat twist getting frizzy or puffy, you're not about to just take the whole thing and retwist it to your scalp. That's just not, it takes too much time, and it's about to alter the whole aspect of how your hair looks. Braid outs, you can kind of have a little bit more leeway, a little bit more freedom with that. So if I have frizzy pieces in my hair, the first thing that I would do is just take that piece and braid it. So I'll add a little water to my hand, some cream, and then I'll braid it, and then on the ends I'll just take some gel and then coil it right on up. Then from there, I'll tie a scarf around my head. So sometimes I'll tie the scarf this way and tuck it behind like that. And then I'll put my satin cap on, and other times I'll flip my hair over and do the pineapple and tie it like that. I like both methods. Personally, if I want more volume, I'm going to take my scarf and flip it over to do the pineapple method, but you have to be careful with this because it will stretch out the back part of your hair, so you have to be very, very careful. So sometimes what I may do if I want to do the pineapple is braid the back part and then flip it over, because then at least if it's a little stretched in the back, I still have like some curl texture at the root of my hair, and it doesn't give that stretched effect of just like straight and then curly at the bottom. So that'll work. And then I also, like I said, if I do it down under and tie it, that way looks good too, but it'll just be a little flatter. So you're gonna just have to fluff it and make sure that you really give your hair some volume. But both methods work. I prefer the pineapple one, like I said. Just make sure that if it's frizzy, you add some leave-in, some oil, some water, and really get that moisture back in your hair. And then you should be able to make your braid out last pretty long. I went and got my little scarf so I could show you guys, because I wanted to make sure that y'all fully understood what I was saying. So if I'm doing it low, like I was saying, tying it low, I would literally just take it. Ooh, child. And then go underneath. So I'll make sure that all my hair is to the back and underneath, so I don't have any drooping down below my ear. So I'm making sure that it's to the back and underneath. Take it, tie it around. That's how I do it for the bottom if I'm just keeping it low. And this is the one where I said, like, yeah, your hair won't stretch, but it will be a little flatter, so you'll have to make sure that you add like a pick or something for volume. If I'm doing it in a pineapple style, so I'm gonna flip my hair over, make sure that all my hair, Jesus, get to the front. It's to the front, tie it, and it'll be like a little pineapple on top of my hair. I'll just tie it like that and then do my little satin cap. I hope that makes sense. My hair was acting stupid, but that's really how I do it. So if y'all want a different video on just taking care of your hair at night and really making sure that you're preserving your hair throughout the whole entire week, I can do that as well. And then my last question is, how often should I get trims? Y'all, this question is so important because I think that as naturalistas, sometimes we make the mistake of thinking just because our hair is curly and we're not putting any heat on it, that we don't get split ends. And then when we finally go and get our trim, we leave out with 5 inches gone. And I just do not want that for my sister girls. So for me personally, my ends can get split really easily. So I like to prefer a dusting. So a dusting is when they're trimming off a little bit, but you're still maintaining the health of your hair. So if you're getting a dusting, you can go anywhere from every 2 to 3 months to get a trim. Last time I was doing it 3 times a year. Now I'm gonna start doing it every 3 months, so 4 times a year, or even 2 months if I feel like it's getting really snagged. Because honestly, this will really help and just save you a lot of time and length, and you just won't be sad when you're leaving your trim appointment and thinking that you're about to have a whole long voluminous 20 inches and they've taken off 5 and now you have 14, which, don't get me wrong, that's really long, but like, we spend so much time as naturalistas not putting heat on our hair, making sure our hair is healthy, this, that, and the third, and then we go and get our trim, we're leaving with not much. So I would really recommend going every 3 months or every 2 months. Personally, find out what works best for you. And also, when it's time to get a trim, you will know. Me personally, I know, because whenever I'm washing my hair and it's getting hard to detangle my hair towards the ends, I know that it's time for me to go and get a trim. So you will know. Do not hold on to dead weight, guys. Cut it off so that your hair can be free and at its healthiest state. Then you will see the length, then you will see the volume, then you will see the health and the luster that you've been longing for. Cut it off. It don't need to be there. Just cut it. Okay, y'all, so I have answered all of the questions. I really hope that I was able to get in depth as much as you guys would have liked me to, and really give you some really helpful tips on starting your natural hair care journey, or just figuring out what works best for you on this natural hair care path. If you want me to do another one, these were all the questions that I got, so you guys can leave some questions down in the description box below. Not in the description box, y'all, in the comments, and I will read the comments, and I can do a part 2 if y'all want me to go more in depth, or if also you just want me to do a video on a specific question that I answered. Just let me know in the comment section below. If you guys are new here, thank you for watching. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Again, I'm your girl Jirah, and I'll see you in my next video.